for you, bud. Herschel, shout out to you, man. I'm happy that you're still playing the game, still grinding, and didn't give up like everyone else did, even though there's no fucking content. So reload cancels, right? Fuck. What you need to learn before you're even able to really pull this off realistically is what you need to learn how to do instant swaps. And what instant swaps are is you can see you can instantly swap between two weapons by by sprint canceling while you're swapping. So essentially you just run forward and swap to your other weapon. This is incredibly important for this Izanagi strat. You absolutely need to do this if you want this strat to be perfected. So, well, all it is sprint forward and swap to your other weapon. You'll know that you're doing it right because if you look at your crosshair, mine's teal, right? So for my grenade launcher, when you just swap off, you see that the crosshair stays there until the weapon is pulled off the screen. So you'll know that you sprint cancel swapped correctly because when you're sprinting, you get this little caret on your screen. And what's going to happen is that caret is going to appear on your screen and the crosshair will change to whatever weapon that you're pulling out. So if I sprint cancel swap to my sniper correctly, because that was a fuck up, you see that my crosshair, obviously snipers have no crosshair in this game. So when I sprint cancel swap, you see I get my caret crosshair to appear and then nothing else. And if I do that from my sniper, I have no crosshair, I'm going to get the caret and then I'm going to have my grenade launcher, right? Just like that. You see, I don't have to wait for the weapon to be put away because the weapon's gone from my screen instantly. It's only how much time it takes for my second weapon to get pulled off. So that's a sprint cancel swapping. That is essential to pull off the Izanagi Wendigo strat that exists in this game right now, which is it's one of the highest forms of DPS in the game. I think Xenophage with Actium Warrig is technically higher. I don't know in bursts, but obviously over time, because if you have Actium Warrig, you literally don't have to reload Xenophage. And Xenophage's output, its damage output is actually pretty high. So essentially what you want to do is you shoot your shot, reload, and you want to instant swap to your Wendigo. And in the downtime that Izanagi has, now let me demonstrate that downtime real quick, but in the downtime that Izanagi has, you can shoot off 3 Wendigo shots if you do it efficiently, if you sprint cancel swap the correct way. And let me just demonstrate Izanagi's downtime. So you see how long it takes for that reload animation to finish? Well, whenever you're reload canceling Izanagi, right, I can't shoot my shot until until that reload animation is actually complete. The shot doesn't leave the barrel until that reload animation itself is actually complete. So we can take advantage of this downtime that we're forced to have, which is essentially the entire reload animation for Izanagi, by when you take your shot and reload, you can shoot off shots, and by the time you switch back to your Izanagi, if you do it correctly, you will be able to shoot your honed edge shot off again, right? So let me just demonstrate why 3 is the optimal amount of shots, right? So if I do this, and I shoot 1 shot off, I can switch back, and you see there's quite a bit of downtime there. I had some time, I swapped, the weapon was just up, and I couldn't actually take the shot yet, right? Let me do the same thing with 2 shots real quick. And you see there's still, like, as soon as I pull out the weapon, I can't actually take that shot right away. Now, if I do 3 shots, though, you see, as soon as I pull the weapon out, I can take that shot. And it's because those 3 Wendigo shots are all done during that downtime, and as soon as you swap back, you have the ability to take the shot because that reload animation is actually completed, right? And obviously, you don't see the reload animation. It's really just happening in the shadows of the game, in the background. But you can actually shoot again until this reload animation is finished. But you can still swap weapons. You can still shoot your other weapons. It's just Izanagi itself can't be shot during that down period. So in order to get full DPS using the Wendigo Izanagi combo, you shoot your shot, go 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, if I was running Garden, right, you run Garden a lot, so if I was running Garden, this would be roughly what a DPS phase looks like. You start with your Wendigo. I'm assuming you're going to make sure that you have 6 explosive light shots stacked already, so when the Sanctified Mind is still on the floor, you want to shoot all those shots off. Now, you probably notice I have a secondary sniper on as well, not just Izanagi. What a lot of speedrunners do in their strat is they will have a secondary sniper on as opposed to Izanagi. So before the boss is in the air, right, you don't really want to use Izanagi on him while he's still on the floor, because it's very easy to miss the crit and you might just end up wasting ammo in the process. So it's not worth it. You'd be wasting ammo and time. If you miss that shot, you miss so much DPS. So in order to get the best results, what you want to do is, while the boss is still on the floor, shoot off 6 explosive light shots. Let's say you could probably get 1 or 2 shots as he's rising into the air. Now let's say the boss just got into the air. He just got into the air. He just stopped. That's when you want to take your first shot. Shoot your 3 Wendigo, take your second shot. Shoot 3 more Wendigo, take your third shot, and if the boss still hasn't fallen to them, that's when you pull out the sniper and you take a couple more pop shots at the end. And you do that couple more pop shots at the end with the second sniper instead of Izanagi, because Izanagi will have 0 shots at that time, right? You won't have anything else to shoot. You would still have to reload it even if you want to do normal shots with Izanagi, right? Pulling out a second sniper allows you to continue DPS without having to deal with that reload animation cancel, or just the normal reload if I was doing just a normal one with just the 4 shots, not a honed edge reload. You don't go back to Wendigo, because let me just demonstrate this. When you shoot off, when you have your shot for Izanagi, right? I take this and I boop and I shoot 1, 2, 3. And I shoot that off, right? And I swap back to Wendigo. You see, I didn't actually get auto-loading holster to proc there. And it's because in the downtime for Izanagi, you don't have enough time to get auto-loading to proc. Now, you still shoot off those 6 shots in the beginning, because you shoot off those 6, right? And let's say he rises into the air. By the time I swap back, I should have these 6, right? If I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? I shoot them all off. I do that, right? That's still not up. Let me get my ammo. If I shoot off my 6 shots, right? And I do this. The boss is still in the air, right? So I take 1, 2. Now he's in the air and I can do my Izanagi stuff. By the time I swap back, I will have my full mag of Wendigo back, right? But between Izanagi shots, that's not enough downtime for you to be able to pull this off. But before, as soon as the damage phase starts, the boss is just walking around on the floor, you shoot your 6 shots off, there's a good chance he won't start raising into the air right away. So even after you shoot your 6 shots off, you could still probably get 1 or 2 pop shots with your second sniper or whatever it is, or you can just keep that downtime and make sure that you have your Izanagi ready, aimed, prepped, you're ready to go and start your actual damage with the reload canceling strategy. But so let me just do a full run through of roughly what a GOS damage phase would look like doing this. Callus is Sanctified Minds for all intents and purposes here, so and that's roughly about the amount of time there is in a damage phase for Sanctified Mind if you just do the 1 break strategy, which I'm assuming you will, because the 1 break strategy allows you to keep 1 relay up and get that extra, I think it's 25% damage boost for 5 stacked relay defenders, or 4 if you're running Lunafaction. But if everyone's doing this strategy, you shouldn't really be running Lunafaction, because none of this strategy takes advantage of Lunafaction. You don't actually reload at any point, and Izanagi honed edge shots do not get affected by Lunafaction, as you know, right? You never reload Wendigo, you take advantage of auto-loading holster. And any Titans or Hunters on your team that are running Xenophage, you see that they're obviously gonna, they're gonna reload with either a dodge, or they're gonna have Actium or Rig. So essentially, running Sanctified Mind, you don't need Lunafaction anymore. It's kind of worthless for this now, because all the weapons that you use for max DPS don't take advantage of actual reloads. I hope this little mini guide I'm recording here on the stream helps you, man. It's really dumb that I couldn't just record this directly on my PC, because my OBS is not set up well to just record to my PC. It literally ends up choppy every single time, as opposed to this. This is not nearly as choppy as what's it called is. this my stream isn't nearly as choppy as my normal recording is on OBS, which is makes 0 sense, but you know, whatever. I gotta figure out how to optimize my recording settings. But yeah, hope this helps, man. Appreciate you. I really hope that you can pull off the one phase GOS takedown. That shit's a beast, man. It's really not that easy to pull off. If you don't already have like a full strat in mind, my team when we pulled it off was running 4 hunters, 1 warlock, 1 titan. Titan obviously weapons of light, warlock with not lunafaction, with will of radiance, 3 celestial nighthawk hunters and a tether. We didn't run a divinity because divinity's kind of useless in that aspect, because when you have a divinity up, yeah, you're getting a 35% damage debuff and across the board, which should technically make up for the single person not doing damage and push past that if there was no debuff. But what you can do is you can always throw a tether at the boss's feet, and sometimes it bugs out, but if the tether actually procs, that means you get 6 people doing 35% more damage as opposed to 5 people doing 35% more damage and 1 guy doing divinity. So 1 hunter ran tether, the other 3 ran celestial nighthawk. A lunafaction, well, you don't really need lunafaction, but we had lunafaction on for whatever reason, and then a titan with actium war rig. That was our setup. We actually only had one person using xenophage, even though technically hunters have, you know, they're still better DPS if they go with xenophage instead of instead of Izanagi Wendigo. So those are just some tips for the one phase. My fire team was able to pull it off. It took us, everyone knowing already how to do this Izanagi strat, it still took my fire team roughly 10 attempts before we got it. No one was expecting to do it. I kind of sprung it on them during a tryout session, so I'm sure if you guys actually sit there and practice it, you can definitely pull off the one phase, because I'm sure you guys are good. I have no doubt that you guys have the skill to pull it off, Herschel. So good luck, man. I really hope you pull it off. It's definitely an achievement to get a one-phase GOS Sanctified Mind in this season, just because of all the changes to all the DPS options that exist in this season. So I wish you luck, man. I really do.